This one is key to you successfully getting started with your baby, especially if you're starting with a newborn. So the question is, I've started to offer the potty to my newborn baby, and they are crying every single time. And this is happening a lot, especially around 8 weeks, between 6 to 12 weeks ish. A lot of babies are crying when you offer the potty. What is going on? Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Heather, your EC Mama Bestie, and I'm here to show you how you too can naturally potty train your baby from as early as birth. Today, I'm going to be answering a question that I get all the time over on Instagram, in my comments, in my DMs, from people in the community, all the time. This one is key to you successfully getting started with your baby, especially if you're starting with a newborn. So the question is, I've started to offer the potty to my newborn baby, and they are crying every single time. And this is happening a lot, especially around 8 weeks, between 6 to 12 weeks ish. A lot of babies are crying when you offer the putty. What is going on? Many of you are concerned that you are hurting your baby by doing EC with them, or that you're doing something wrong. So I just want to give you some insight into why this might be happening and what you can do about it to help your baby have a much better experience with the putty. So first and foremost, it's really important to remember that elimination communication, or EC, is completely 100% natural. Your baby is born to do this. It is the natural way of infant hygiene that humans have been practicing for millennia, as long as we have existed. So diapers and having a baby eliminate or pee poop in a diaper is a relatively new phenomenon that has not been going on as long as we have been alive. So you are not hurting your baby by having them pee or poop away from their body into an appropriate vessel. That is actually the correct way to potty your baby rather than having them poop on themselves, which goes very strongly against their natural instincts not to soil themselves. And it is really a survival mechanism to keep them safe and clean by not pooping on themselves, quite simply. So remember that you are not hurting your baby. This is the natural way of doing things, and you may just need a little bit of a technique tweak to make this work better for your baby. Okay, so there's a few reasons why your baby might be crying when you're offering. First and foremost is that there is a major developmental leap that your baby is going to go through around about 8 weeks of age. So this is leap 2. If you want to know more about leaps, check out the book, The Wonder Weeks. It is fantastic for learning all about the stages of physical and mental development that your baby is going to go through in the first 2 years of life. So around 8 weeks, they're going to experience a leap in their development where they suddenly become aware of their physical body inside and out. This means that now they are experiencing what it feels like to poop. And that can be kind of a disconcerting feeling for your baby when they're suddenly becoming aware of this feeling and they haven't been already. So sometimes they're simply crying because they're feeling what it feels like to poop, and it feels a little weird, and they just need to get used to it. They're going to be crying about a lot of things that don't just have to do with the potty, because everything is new. Their way of seeing and experiencing the world is suddenly different, like a sheet has been pulled over from over their eyes. And so when everything is new, it can just feel a little bit scary and intimidating. So that's not your fault. You're not doing anything wrong. This is completely normal. Another reason that your baby might be crying when you're offering the potty, if they're very young, is they're uncomfortable. So they might be cold, even if you are in a warm climate, but your house is air conditioned. When you are taking their clothes off in order to offer the potty, they might just feel a little cold. Young babies are still learning how to regulate their body temperature. And so if you are undressing them to potty them and your home's a little chilly or it's winter, it might really help just to put some tall socks on them or leg warmers so that they're not fully undressed on the bottom and they're a little bit more comfy cozy. They also can feel uncomfortable just because you're not holding them exactly right. So when you're holding a newborn and you're patting them, you want to make sure that their spine and neck and head are fully supported. So if you're holding them in the classic EC hold position, where you're holding them under their thighs and their back is resting against your chest and their head is kind of nestled in your chest, You want to make sure that they're close to your body so that they're fully supported and that their legs and hips are making an in position. So you want to make sure that their little booty is below their knees. And you don't want that to be too sharp of an angle. You want to kind of have it like a loose, comfortable in so that their booty is just a little bit lower than their knees. And that is a really great ergonomic position for them to eliminate. It's much more comfortable. So you don't want their legs sticking straight out. You don't want them in sort of a V position. You want to have that nice, comfortable in. And you also want to make sure that they're fully supported. If your baby is very young and they have not mastered head support yet, and they're still building those muscles, you might want to try switching to what's called a classic cradle hold. So instead of having your baby in this vertical position against your chest, you just want to kind of shift them over to the side so that they are in a cradle hold. Their head is resting in the crook of your elbow, and you're going to hold them kind of across your body with your hands under their thighs, and then you can aim into the vessel of your choice. So a sink, a toilet, a potty, whatever that is that you're using, this puts your baby in a more reclined position. And so they're going to be a little bit more comfortable and not feel like their head is falling and their airways are closing. If their airways are being closed because of the way that you're holding them, then yes, they are going to feel very uncomfortable and quite scared. So you want to make sure that you're fully supporting them appropriately for their size. This is also why we don't sit a newborn baby on a potty yet until they can fully support their head. So until they are 2 to 4 weeks old and they've really gained strong head control, you want to make sure that you're pottying them in arms and you're holding them and supporting them with your body. You can also potty them while you're breastfeeding. This is really great because this helps them to relax. And so if you are breastfeeding them in a cradle hold, so their head is kind of here, you can breastfeed them. You then would just undiaper them, use a top hat potty or a lap potty or a mixing bowl or a yogurt container, whatever you have on hand. You would sit that vessel of choice in your lap, and then you would just nestle your baby's little booty down into that container, and they can just potty when they need to while you're feeding them. So another reason that they might be crying, building on this, is that they're just having trouble relaxing. It is a reflex for your baby to release once you've gotten their diaper off and you've gotten them into position and you're cueing them with the sound cue that you choose. But babies are still mastering that brain body control and being able to control their body and tell it what to do intentionally. So if they really are feeling that strong urge to go, but they haven't yet been able to relax and release their pelvic floor because maybe they're uncomfortable or they're cold, then they can be feeling a little bit frantic simply because they can't relax and release when they need to. You can help them to relax by talking to them, singing to them. If you're holding them facing away from you, having a mirror in front of you, so at the bathroom sink is a great place to do this because you can see your baby, you can make faces at them, smile, laugh, talk, sing, all the things that you would do to comfort your baby otherwise work great in this situation. So you just want to make sure that you are calming your baby however you need to, however your baby responds best. You can also try breastfeeding them because the sucking motion is really going to help them relax, and that is really going to help them release. So you hopefully won't have to always breastfeed them while they're pottying, but once they get a little bigger, this will no longer be such an issue. So you want to make sure that they are comfortable, you're holding them in the correct position, and you're helping them to relax so that they can release when you offer. Okay, so I hope that really helps you to help your baby have a much better experience when you're pottying them. Remember that this is totally normal, this is totally natural. You're not hurting your baby. Just make those few edits so that they can have a better experience, and hopefully you can keep calm and potty on. Okay, so if you are enjoying this content so far, you are learning something, please be sure to go ahead and hit that like button, leave me a comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That really helps my channel to grow and reach more families with this information just like yours. If you want to learn more about EC and you're just getting started, I do have a free quick start guide that you can download down below in the description box. And if you want to take your EC further with your baby, check out my program Born Ready Plus. It is your complete how-to guide to get you from EC all the way to diaper free by the time your baby is walking. All right. Thank you so much for being here and watching and following along. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.